hurt either one of them.
If she took me, you wouldn't have to hurt her.
Okay.
I was just trying to help.
Today at 5:30 on News Channel 11. Count on News Channel 11. This is News Channel 11 Morning Edition.
Good morning, I'm Christine Sorensen. Today is Friday, January 15th. Thanks for waking up to us here on News Channel 11 Morning Edition. You may see that rain we had yesterday turn into snow today, but don't give up hopes for a nice weekend. Meteorologist Marcus Lynch joins us now, and there is already a little bit of snow out there, I understand, from some people out there.
That's right. We have some light snow coming in on the backside of the system, but most of the heavy rain is over with. That's well off to the east. Colder air has moved in. We've got temperatures in the 30s for this morning, possibly lower 40s for this afternoon, but much cooler than yesterday's high. We were up to 56 degrees, but this cold weather won't last long. We'll be back into the 50s for the weekend and drying out.
I saw people in shorts and t-shirts out there yesterday.
It was just like spring.
It really did feel like it. Well, big change today. Some lucky kids getting a late start to school. We have two school schedule changes. Tazewell County schools are on a 2-hour delay, and Dickinson County schools are also on a 2-hour delay. We will have more on those and also the weather coming up. Also in this half hour, authorities are still searching for a local woman who disappeared on New Year's Eve. We'll have an update on the search. Also, how much do you know about workers' compensation? In today's Legal Edge, attorney Michael James Bryant will tell you what everyone needs to know. And get out your 9-iron. Our golf pro Jerry Wilson will be along to give you tips on how to improve your days out on the links. These stories and more coming up on News Channel 11 Morning Edition. But first, leading our news this morning, investigators are still looking for a woman who disappeared on New Year's Eve. They say they have no leads in the search for 44-year-old Karen Schreiber. News Channel 11's Andrew Douglas has an exclusive interview with family members who are left to hope and pray.
I mean, I can't give up. That's my sister. She would do it for me.
Every sleepless night that passes, Karen Schreiber's family loses more hope of finding her alive.
Somebody out there has to know something. I just don't feel like that she would have just vanished without somebody seeing something or knowing something.
Her family has spent countless hours looking in ditches, searching in dumpsters, hoping to find a clue, anything that might give a hint to where Karen could be.
It's just like your heart's breaking, and you don't know what to do. I want her back.
Karen was last seen December 31st. Nearly a week after she was reported missing, her car, a black Ford Escort, was found here in this Walmart Supercenter parking lot. 2 weeks have gone by now, and still detectives have no leads in the case.
The tears and pain of not knowing is tearing the family apart. As they hold hands, they pray for this nightmare to end.
We don't know anything, and we are so worried. And that's my child. I love her, and I want her back.
The search will go on as the hope of a happy ending fades away. In Johnson City, Andrew Douglas, News Channel 11.
Karen Schreiber is 44 years old. She's 5 feet 2 inches tall, weighs about 100 pounds, has short brown hair and wears glasses. If you have information about her, please call the Johnson City Police at 434-6125, or you can make an anonymous call with information to Crime Stoppers at 434-6158. 3 people are behind bars for numerous charges after an investigation by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department and the 1st Judicial Drug Task Force. 34-year-old Barry Lee Oliver of Elk Park, North Carolina, and 27-year-old Crystal Beth Howell of Mountain City are both charged with possession of drugs, a stolen vehicle, and a stolen handgun. Howell is also charged with introduction of drugs into a jail. 26-year-old Christine Sue Fritz is charged with possession of drugs and drug paraphernalia. Deputies recovered 2 guns, more than $5,000 in cash, more than 29 grams of methamphetamines and other drugs, and a Dodge Ram truck. Major changes are in the works for area hospitals, and they could affect where you go for medical care. Northside, one of the hospitals recently bought by the Johnson City Medical Center, could soon become an outpatient care center. It would handle outpatient surgeries and treatment, procedures like MRIs, ultrasounds, and CAT scans, and offer some emergency care.
There will still be a 24-hour urgent care center there, so some emergent care can be obtained at the Northside location. We also have a skilled nursing facility there and are looking at other ways to utilize the facility.
The renovations and new equipment will add up to an $8 million plus project. There would probably be some job losses too at Northside, but Larry Calhoun says there are a lot of openings at the medical center. Changes are coming to a local high school, but officials first have to come up with a new plan. The Kingsport School System's architect recommends scrapping a renovation plan for Dobyns Bennett High School that was drawn up in 1996. He says the best thing to do is start all over, and that's exactly what's being done. Next Monday, school officials and architects will tour the school and discuss priorities. The major focus will be bringing the 30-year-old building up to code. The local company that produces uranium fuel for the U.S. Navy is getting high marks from safety from the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. The NRC's annual evaluation of nuclear fuel services in Irwin was made public yesterday. Members of the NRC staff formally presented their findings to company executives. The regional administrator for the NRC says he's pleased about the progress the company's made since the last report card 15 months ago, but there's always room for improvement.
Even if you get to a situation where everything is being done right, the NRC still remains with an office on site which inspections. So we have a lower level of activity in terms of inspections, but it's not zero. We always are here.
Several needed improvements at NFS are indicated in the report card. One is a better system for labeling and monitoring nuclear material, which is of strategic value to the U.S. government. Turning now to national news, House Republicans are preparing for the second day of impeachment evidence. Some Senate Republicans are hinting they'd like to see President Clinton testify in the proceedings, but Democrats say it would be unprecedented to invite a defendant who doesn't want to provide testimony. Today, House prosecutors will talk about the law of perjury and obstruction of justice. 2 people were shot when a woman entered a TV station in Salt Lake City and opened fire. Witnesses say the armed woman entered KSL TV and radio wearing ear protection and carrying a grocery bag full of bullets. She demanded to speak to a reporter, and when that request was denied, she opened fire. The woman then made her way to AT&T offices where she fired several more shots from a 9mm handgun. Company officials say she shot one woman before being wrestled to the ground. That victim is in extremely critical condition. A man who was shot was able to get away. Salt Lake City police believe the gunwoman targeted the station because she believed the station was harassing her. The United States is moving to ease sanctions on Iraq. It's proposing removing a UN ceiling on Iraqi oil sales, but only if proceeds go to buy food and other humanitarian supplies for the Iraqi people. The exemption to the UN trade embargo was announced yesterday. It would allow Iraq to sell more than $5 billion worth of oil every 6 months. Part of the idea behind the move is to counter a campaign by Baghdad of accusing the United States of starving the Iraqi people by supporting sanctions. It's now 7 minutes past 6. There's still much more ahead as News Channel 11 Morning Edition continues. Up next, our fitness specialist will be here with tips on how to make your New Year's resolution to get in shape really happen. Also coming up in this morning's Legal Edge.
I'm attorney Mike Bryant. You may be on the job and not even know it. We'll talk about workers' compensation on the Legal Edge coming up.
Do you know much about workers' compensation? Attorney Michael James Bryant will tell you how to protect yourself if you've ever been injured on the job a little later. But before that, we get a quick look at the forecast with meteorologist Marcus Lynch over in the Storm Center. Marcus.
Well, we've got a chilly morning out there, breezy conditions, and also some light snow up in the higher elevations. I'll tell you all about it after the break, but right now, here's a look at the day in numbers.
He's a romantic brute!
You know what I like to do right now?
Play Roy Rogers and Trigger till the smoke detectors go off.
Too bad his daughter is
The most evil girl to ever walk the earth.
Now it's Grace against the girl. Who will get dumped?
If this is the game you want to play, I'm up for it.
I'd like to see you try.
The dare that'll curl your hair.
You look like Gabe Kaplan.
Things get hairy on the next Grace.
Weren't you the grandma on Golden Girls?
Tonight at 7:30 on News Channel 11. It's all here through Saturday at New York Carpet World. All you need to carpet your home is on sale. Save 5 to 50% off carpet, 50% off padding, 50% off labor. It's our best carpet offer of the season. Choose from hundreds of in-stock colors and styles, Berber, Saxony's textures, and save 5 to 50% off carpet, 50% off Encore One padding, 50% off labor, plus 1 year free financing. It's all here through Saturday. All you need to carpet your home is on sale at New York Carpet World. Don't miss it.
S&K! Come to S&K's hot winter clearance sale. It's thawing out prices on handsome wool blend suits at 2 for just $199.97. Thousands of clearance sale prices on sport coats from $89.97. And take the chill off with winter sportswear and outerwear at 20 to 50% off too. So come to S&K's winter clearance sale now because these prices won't last forever.
S&K! Shop our new store at Johnson City Crossing next to Old Navy.
I got a call at work today. And unless we make a payment by the 1st, they're going to garnish my wages. Take the money out of my pay before we get it.
There won't be enough for the groceries.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
The answer is American Credit Counselors. They'll arrange a payment plan to avoid garnishment, and you don't have to pay to get help. Their services are free. Call 800-646-0042. American Credit Counselors. They are the answer.
Well, we've got breezy conditions outside this morning, cloudy skies, and also some light snow, especially up around the higher elevations. For southwest Virginia, also Beach Mountain in western North Carolina, down to about 22 degrees, light snow and a stiff wind. Currently, it's about 34 around the Tri-Cities area. Temperatures warming up into the low 40s this afternoon. We will see decreasing clouds later today, and then partly cloudy for this evening, back down to about 33 degrees. Live conditions right now, Kingsport Citizens Bank, 33, humidity at 85%, winds are calm, almost an inch of rain in the rain gauge since midnight. Some pretty good shower activity pushed through the area, and it's well off to the east, as you can see, but we do have some colder air coming in out of the northwest and some snow that's very light, so really not being picked up very well by the radar here, but lots of folks in the mountainous areas having to deal with some light snow this morning, so keep that in mind and be careful as you're heading out and about early this Friday morning. Birch Leaf right now checking in with 29 degrees. In the mid-20s for Wise, Virginia. Roby Hensley at 31. Abingdon at 32. Lower 30s for Greenville and Church Hill. Carroll and Miller right now 36 degrees in Irwin. Also 36 for Rose Tester at Mountain City. Boone, North Carolina at 29. And Rose Green and Flag Pond checking in the upper 20s. 33 now for Knoxville. Still relatively warm for Charlotte and Raleigh in the mid to upper 50s as this front continues to slice through the central Carolinas, but you can see that cold air rushing in. 19 degrees now for Lexington and 27 for Nashville, and we've got 31 degrees for Memphis. Here's what it looks like on the satellite radar composite. You can see those winds in the upper levels curving back around from the northwest. So we had the warm air yesterday since we were to the east of this system, all those winds coming out of the southwest. Folks in the eastern Carolinas and Virginia will be enjoying temperatures well above average today, but for us the coin has flipped to the other side, so we'll be seeing highs in the lower 40s if we're lucky. But as far as what we're looking at later on this afternoon, starting to get rid of most of those clouds. It will be chilly this afternoon, but we should be seeing fair skies as we head into the evening hours. Here's what the forecast looks like for the rest of today. Morning flurries and light snow in the higher elevations, especially with a mixture of sun and clouds later on. Temperatures in the mid-30s to lower 40s with a northwest wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Fair and cold tonight, overnight low down to about 25 degrees. And then as we check in with the first half of the weekend, partly sunny, much warmer with a high of 54 degrees. Now for the extended forecast, staying in the 50s throughout the period, maybe a scattered shower or two for Monday, but otherwise looking very nice. Temperatures in the upper 50s for Sunday, staying in the mid-50s for Monday and Tuesday, and overnight lows down to the freezing mark there most nights, but not staying there for very long. So it's more like a March or April forecast here. It looks like normally we should be 43, 44 degrees.
Incredible weather for this time of year, as I said. People out in shorts and T-shirts yesterday.
It's great. So these little brief moments, you have to enjoy them while they last, because I'm sure in a couple of weeks we'll probably be back to 25 or something.
Exactly. Well, there's another reason some kids out there are excited about the weather, because they are getting snow. They've got some school schedule changes. In Virginia, Tazewell County is on a 2-hour delay, and Dickinson County is also on a 2-hour delay today. How much do you know know about the workers' compensation system. If the time ever comes when you need it, then you'll need to know enough to give you the legal edge.
Compensation, workers' compensation. A couple of words we've all heard, but a couple of words that really don't say a heck of a lot about an employee's rights when injured. There you go. The workers' comp system is supposed to help injured employees, injured on the job. So you've got to be on the job. Chastity, I'll be back in a minute. Figuring out what on the job means can be kind of tricky. Let's say you're commuting to work. You're not yet on the job. If you get hurt, no benefits. You're not on the job. But what if the boss asks you to stop for staples and stationery on the way to work? Now you're working. You're on the job, even while commuting. Get injured, get workers' compensation benefits. The law asks, are you an employee? Are you doing something to help your boss? Picking up supplies on the way to work, working at home on evenings and weekends, out of town on a business trip. If the boss benefits from whatever you're doing, you benefit from workers' comp if injured. The workers' comp system can be brain-boggling, so you need to know the basics about when you get benefits. And if you have a question about workers' comp or some other legal question, contact the station or email me at lawjerk@aol.com. If you need legal advice but you don't know an attorney to consult, call the Trial Lawyers Referral Service for a free referral to a lawyer in your community. The number to call, 1-888-329-3999. For News Channel 11 Morning Edition, I'm attorney Michael James Bryant.
You probably noticed the gym is the popular place to be. I know I've been there many times, and Holly Harris joins us now, our fitness specialist with the Wellness Center. And lots of people made New Year's resolutions to get in shape, and it starts out good, but the key is following through.
That's right. There are too many people that make New Year's resolutions. The thing about these resolutions, and a lot of those do have to do with weight loss or something that has to do with exercising, they will say, this year, for sure, I'm going to lose weight. Or this year is the year that I'm going to get in better shape, or whatever. But that's it. They say it. They tell everybody that, and then when the next year rolls around, again, they still haven't done it.
Exactly.
So I've got some tips today to put your plan into action, to write this goal down and carry it all the way through.
Great.
First of all, you need to decide exactly what you want. Don't say, I'm going to lose weight. Say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. That's fine. Think big. It doesn't matter how big your goal is. If you work on it in small increments, you can meet that goal. So if you really want to lose 40 pounds, go ahead and say, okay, I want to lose 40 pounds.
You're never going to do it if you don't at least shoot for it.
Right. So go ahead and think big. Focus, though. Focus on the smaller goals, okay? You've gotten your goal written down, what you want. You want to lose 20, 25, 30, whatever pounds. You've got that written down. Work on the first 5. Or if you're going to get in better shape, work on going to the gym at least 3 days a week. And then later we'll increase to 4 or 5 or 6 days a week.
Exactly. I see so many people who go so gung-ho in the beginning, and that's great. They're excited, but then they kind of burn out.
Right. If it's something you haven't been doing or something you haven't made a priority, you kind of have to go into it gradually. Another thing you can do to help yourself is to monitor your progress. Write it down. Put your goal somewhere you can see it every day, like on the refrigerator, on your bathroom mirror, on your desk at work, somewhere you can see it every day. Take a picture of yourself. Put it on the wall, wherever. Put it on the mirror with your goal, and then take a picture of yourself each month so that you can see the change that's taking place.
Maybe a little that guilt effect will come into action too, and if it works, it works.
That's right. And another thing is when you start to plateau or when you start to get bored, make a change. Have your exercise specialist at the gym or someone you know, maybe you have a personal trainer, just change your workout a little bit to help you overcome that boredom and to help you want to get back in there and keep, striving towards your goal.
Because there are so many options. I know some people who are new at it may not know all the different options that are out there.
Right,
but there are options.
any different number of different ways to change your program, and there's a lot of things that will probably fit in and be more comfortable to you that you would enjoy more. The biggest thing, though, is to take action. Knowing you want to meet these goals is not enough. You have to actually work for it and know that you have to make this a priority and work it into your day every day.
Holly, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Good luck to all of you on your fitness goals this year. Now it's time for the latest sports news. Here is News Channel 11 Sports Director Kenny Hawkins.
Good morning, everyone. Last night on the college basketball court, the #1 ranked Tennessee Lady Vols hosted 4th ranked Georgia, the 5th largest home crowd on hand, 22,635. They watched the Lady Vols race out to a 12-0 lead. Tamika Randall hits the baseline jumper. Jamaica Holtzclaw led the Lady Vols with 24 points. Tennessee improved to 14-1 on the season. At the Lacey Fieldhouse, the Milligan Buffaloes hosted the Virginia Intermont Cobras. VI struck first when Jody Mullins from Jonesville, Virginia, sank the 3-ball in the side pocket. The Buffaloes, who lead the conference at 3-0, respond when Lance Ashby came off the screen to nail the tray. Milligan remains unbeaten in the T-bag. On Thursday, meet officials and sponsors announced the Memorial Center track on January 29th and 30th will be packed with some of the best college, high school, and Olympic track and field athletes for the Icon Invitational Track and Field Meet. And to make sure the youth of Johnson City see some of the best talent in the world, over 3,000 tickets have been given to elementary students. You can buy tickets at the ETSU ticket office. Beginning February 1st, 9 fans who find the caps of specially marked bottles and inside specially marked multi-packs of Coca-Cola Classic will take a couple of laps around the Atlanta Motor Speedway with one of 4 different NASCAR Winston Cup drivers. Some of those drivers include Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott, and Dale Jarrett. Forget about what you heard Wednesday night about Miami Dolphins head coach Jimmy Johnson calling a news conference for Thursday morning to say he quits. That's because the 55-year-old coach had a change of heart during the 13th hour. The Dolphins did hire former Chicago Bears head coach Dave Wanstead as his assistant coach. The Golden Bear will miss the Masters next month for the first time in 40 years. The 58-year-old 6-time champion will have hip replacement surgery this month with hopes of playing someday without pain. News Channel 11 Morning Edition will continue in just a moment, but first, here are the numbers from last night.
Not all chewing gums are the same. Dentine Ice cools your breath twice. Freezer wrapped, freshly packed, delicious cold minty shell. Plus, a Sub-Zero chewing gum flavor that really puts your breath on ice. For a long, long time. Dentine Ice. Dentine Ice cools your breath twice.
I'm Tony Seaton, and I'd like to invite you to attend a free seminar on your workers' compensation rights in Tennessee. You'll learn what medical care you're entitled to, both now and in the future, who chooses your doctors, and how to get a fair settlement. To learn more about your workers' compensation rights and our free seminars, call our office at 1-800-282-1021.
The next free workers' compensation seminar will be on January 19th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at the Best Western in Bristol, Tennessee.
New home fashions are here and more arriving daily at Zach's Furniture. And here's the greatest reason to buy furniture now. Zach's management has authorized a repeat of their own no cash attack for those numerous customers who missed the event last year. That's no down payment, no finance charges, no interest for 2 full years. It's the fiscally responsible way to shop. So write this down. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Zach's in Boones Creek in downtown Kingsport for free-spirited, no-hassle shopping.
Experts say it's important to eat a good breakfast. I say it's important to eat a delicious breakfast, even if it isn't until lunch or dinner time. Take IHOP's mouth-watering country breakfast. Tender ham served with 2 eggs, hash browns, and 2 country griddle cakes. Only $3.99. Only from IHOP. And you can eat it morning, noon, or night. Whether you're an expert or just a real hungry amateur, anytime's a good time for breakfast at IHOP.
You are watching WJHL News Channel 11 Morning Edition.
Good morning. The time is 6:23 right now in Mountain City. Cloudy skies and 30 degrees. quite a change from the mid to even, above 55 degrees yesterday?
56 yesterday. We'll be lucky to get in the low 40s today, I think, because winds are out of the northwest. Some light snow, especially in the higher elevations across the viewing area, so keep that in mind if you live in the mountainous areas. Temperatures are chilly this morning, too, down into the 30s and even 20s in some locations.
All right, big change. You never know what's going to happen these days.
Oh, yeah.
All right, more on the weather coming up. But now, for all the latest business news, here is Betsy Koretnick with this morning's Market Watch.
Good morning, everyone. Market players are on edge for the last trading day of the week. Fresh concern about economic turmoil in Brazil, whether it will spread, and the impact of U.S. corporate profits sent the Dow plunging 228 yesterday to 91.20. The Nasdaq also lost ground, down nearly 40 for the day. Overseas, the Tokyo Exchange was closed for a holiday. Keep a watch on Ford Motor Company today. The #2 automaker announced it expects to take a pre-tax charge of $730 million in the fourth quarter for employee programs, plus other charges totaling $220 million. Ford's earnings are due out January 21st. In other stocks to watch, Friendly Ice Cream may melt. The company announced it expects a much bigger loss for the quarter than consensus estimates. And internet company Tomy shares may rise on a better-than-expected quarterly performance. While smokers may have to ante up again, President Clinton reportedly wants to raise cigarette taxes by 55 cents a pack to pay for new spending initiatives. Congressional Republicans are likely to oppose the measure. And the chairman of the Senate Finance Committee is expected to announce a proposal to make saving for retirement easier. The new Roth 401k would function along the same lines as a Roth IRA, allowing tax-free withdrawals and raising the maximum annual contribution. Click on to cbs.marketwatch.com for markets and more. I'm Betsy Koretnick in New York.
Well, we've seen the eastern U.S. be hit with a big, bad winter storm already, and it is not over for many of them.
That's right, especially for the folks in Detroit. Thousands of people in Detroit are not able to get their mail because of the bad weather. Seems the mail carriers just can't make it to their front door. Looks like the old phrase, nor rain, nor sleet, nor snow can stop the mail, does not apply anymore, at least in Detroit, but fortunately most other folks across the country probably able to get their mail. It's just a little extra bad up there around the Great Lakes this time of year, especially this year. We've even got a little bit of snow in our forecast this morning, especially in the higher elevations, some light snow and some flurries. Temperatures in the 30s for the Tri-Cities, some locations in the 20s this morning, kind of on the breezy side as well, and then we'll be in the lower 40s for this afternoon, partly cloudy this evening, back down to 33 degrees. Live conditions right now, checking in with Kingsport Citizens Bank, 33, humidity at 87%, almost an inch of rain in the rain gauge since midnight. The radar across the country showing the rain that we got yesterday pushing well off to the east rapidly, and we get this changing over to snow as we head up to the north around Pennsylvania, New York. Most of the snow across the area very light for us, so not quite being picked up by the radar at this time. Here's your travel weather for this morning. Atlanta in the 30s, cloudy skies for Charlotte, still in the mid-50s as that front has not pushed through central North Carolina, and in the teens with snow for Chicago and Pittsburgh. Right now it's 33 for Kansas City. Atlanta cooling down to 37 at this hour, and Miami a balmy 70 degrees. Here's what it looks like heading down the road across the area. We'll be back up into the mid-50s for tomorrow, so just a brief chilly day with some winter weather to wrap up the work week, and then we should be shaping up nicely for the weekend. 58 on Sunday. Scattered shower or two for Monday, but still holding in the mid-50s for Monday and Tuesday as well. Temperatures well above average. Some bonus stuff here. I guess we deserve it.
I'm still amazed at all that snow in Detroit, man. Those cars were just covered.
I'll tell you what, up there you got to have, forget about the snow shovel and the blower. They need to have one of those little, what do you call it, Steve? The little tractors with the scoop on them.
Oh, yeah. Basically,
a bobcat. I couldn't think of that to save my life.
Snow plow. I've got a friend in Detroit, and he said the weather, or the mailmen were getting a little bit upset about it, and he was told that he better shovel his yard or else he's not going to be getting his mail, and that's what he did. Well, we've all heard of the Miss USA pageant, the Miss Universe pageant, but Marcus, have you ever heard of the Miss Gypsy pageant? It's a big event in Romania. More than 10,000 people crowded in a theater hall in Bucharest to watch the annual pageant.
This colorful event is somewhat of a tradition in Romania. The winner enjoyed the adulation of thousands and the title of Miss Gypsy 1999. It's hard to read and look at the video at the same time.
And I know you're watching closely. It is not exactly the Miss World contest, but what the event lacks in glitter, glamour, and TV lights, it makes up for with traditional dancing.
The winner was a 22-year-old girl from Bucharest. Miss Gypsy receives a $1,000 prize.
Armenia has a gypsy community of about 2.5 million people, the biggest community in Europe.
All right, a couple of tattoos probably don't hurt either.
I bet you that'd go over pretty well here in the U.S. if that was on TV.
Why
like
not?
the Miss America pageant.
Some cable station would be glad to run it, I'm sure.
We'll have to see about that. More to come on this Friday edition. Stay tuned.
Right now, here's a look at some school lunch menus for today.
Here at Buckman Bernard Auto Mall, we're throwing great deals your way on quality pre-owned vehicles. Right, Chris?
That's right, Stan. Sport utilities, we have over 15 in stock. Jimmys, Blazers, Explorers, Pathfinders, and more. Like this 98 GMC Jimmy SLS 4x4, $19,995.
And don't forget, Buckman Bernard will guarantee you $2,000 minimum for your trade-in towards the purchase of select quality pre-owned vehicles in stock. So win big. Pick up the phone, dial 1-888-639-4141, or come into Buckman Bernard Auto Mall in Greenville today.
Call the Serve Pro team whenever you need professional carpet cleaning and furnace duct cleaning. Serve Pro's technicians carefully move all furniture before cleaning your carpets. The Serve Pro professional carpet cleaners use a unique steam delivery process to lift and remove deep down dirt. The 195-degree steam is gentle to your carpet, yet thoroughly removes all dirt. Serve Pro can also clean your home's air ducts with their revolutionary rotary action industrial duct brushes. For carpet and duct cleaning, come clean with the Serve Pro team, serving East Tennessee from offices in Johnson City and Greenville.
At Comcast, we're taking calls for our incredible instant install. If you call today, you'll get installed tomorrow for an unbelievable low price. There's never been a better time to get cable TV from Comcast. Why? We guarantee on-time installation or it's free. Comcast is affordable. It starts at about $1 a day. Plus, Comcast is better than ever. Just look at what you'll miss if you don't call today.
Order Comcast with HBO and Showtime and get connected for only $14.95 plus 50% off your first month. Call 1-800-COMCAST.
We're ready to take your call. Call us now.
The holidays are over and the bills are piling up in January. East Tennessee Finance is here to help. Come see Bill Patterson and the friendly staff at East Tennessee Finance. They can help.
If you needed a plumber yesterday, call Golden Rule Plumbing today for speedy service that won't wait until tomorrow. We live up to our name every day at Golden Rule Plumbing.
This is News Channel 11 Morning Edition.
Good morning, I'm Christine Sorensen. We're glad you could join us for the second half hour of News Channel 11 Morning Edition. Today is Friday, January 15th. We hope to help you get your day off to a great start. The weather may not be much of a help, though. It is beginning to get colder outside, and some of you may see some light snow today. Meteorologist Marcus Lynch joins us now. And after some rain, it looks like it's turning into some freezing rain and snow now.
Well, we had warm and wet conditions yesterday, but this morning, temperatures in the 20s and 30s. We've got some light snow, especially in the mountainous locations across the area. So keep that in mind if you live in the higher elevations. Be careful. Otherwise, just maybe a flurry or two for the lower elevations. Temperatures warming up into the upper 30s and low 40s. But the good news is we'll be back into the 50s tomorrow, so only just a brief day of winter weather to deal with. We've also got a couple of school changes. Tazewell County Schools in Virginia, 2-hour delay, and Dickinson County, Virginia, also on a 2-hour delay. So congratulations, kids. You get sleep in a little bit longer.
Definitely their lucky day. Well, we will have more on the weather coming up and the school schedule changes. But right now, here's a preview of some of the stories you'll see in this half hour. Changes are on the way for a local hospital. And what's in the future for it? And there's a lot of talk about the benefits of garlic. Dr. Dina Dell will have a report on whether garlic is beneficial to children. That's in today's Medical Watch. And in our Focus on the Family commentary, Dr. James Dobson will talk about the difficult balance between love and parent control in parenting. These stories and more in the second half hour of News Channel 11 Morning Edition. But first, our top stories. We've all been there in traffic jams caused by road construction. Some people see those orange barrels as a welcome sign of growth, but others, including the most powerful men in the state, say the problems are caused by a State Department that's out of control. News Channel 11's Rob Pratt was in Nashville for the opening of this year's legislative session. He begins with what's being done about it.
They didn't
basically every year it boils down to what a gentleman said one time are the shuns: education, correction, transportation.
That last shun Senator Tommy Hahn is talking about is the first source of controversy on Capitol Hill this year. The Speaker of the House is taking aim at the Tennessee Department of Transportation.
We have a great deal of work to do. It's time to get down to business.
The business Speaker Jimmy Nafee is referring to includes forming a committee to look into the department that puts all of those orange barrels along the highways. Nafee says Tennesseans are having to wait far too long to see projects completed, and counties can't get state funds they need to build roads. He's formed a committee of House members who will ask why and to check records to see how every dollar is spent.
They may show you a lot of numbers on paper, but it may be more fluff than substance. Something does not seem to be right at DOT.
Orange barrels are not as common in this area as they have been in years past, but that will change soon. This year, East Tennessee is expected to get about half of the state's transportation dollars, and with several $100 million more coming from the federal government, just a matter of time until you'll be seeing plenty of these. One of the chief complaints across the state is that barrels are set up even when no work is going on. Transportation officials say the markers are out there for a reason, even if there's no visible work at the time. But frustrated motorists still complain. And now they've got the ear of a man who has the power to do something about it. Rob Pratt, News Channel 11.
The special committee will issue its report to the full House later in the legislative session. There were some touching moments in the Tennessee Senate. Legislators began the proceedings yesterday with a dedication and memorial to the late Senator Tommy Burks. Burks' widow Charlotte is in the seat her husband once occupied. She won a write-in campaign after her husband was gunned down before the election. Burks' political opponent, Byron Low-Tax Looper, has been arrested and charged with his murder. A local hospital could be undergoing some big changes. Northside Hospital, one of the many facilities purchased by the Johnson City Medical Center, could soon become an outpatient care facility. But with that change could come the loss of jobs.
We did, though, find several challenges.
Northside Hospital would handle outpatient surgeries and treatment, as well as outpatient diagnostic procedures like MRIs, ultrasound, and CAT scans. That will cost the hospital about $8 million in renovations and equipment. The medical center should find out in April whether its application to make changes is approved. The time is now 6:35. We've got lots more to come here on News Channel 11 Morning Edition. It's day 2 of the impeachment hearings on Capitol Hill. We'll have a report coming up. But first, let's go to meteorologist Marcus Lynch with a quick look at the forecast. Marcus.
Chilly conditions outside this morning, some light snow in the higher elevations. How long will this winter weather last? I'll let you know after the break, but right now, here's a look at the almanac data for today.
Located at the new Sherwood building.
The best things in life are free. And for 4 days, you can get today's best furniture values with free financing for up to 18 months with no down payment. Presenting Grand Home Furnishings 4 days for free sale. For just 4 days, you'll find special values store-wide. Plus, there's free financing for up to 18 months with no down payment, making this the perfect time to get the furniture you've always wanted. But hurry, Grand Home Furnishings 4 days for free sale ends Monday.
Shopping for a home equity loan? Cut out the profit-taking middleman. Borrow direct from Reliance Wholesale Mortgage.
The family we know recommended Reliance, so we called. We're glad we did.
Need a home loan? Don't pay up to 10% in origination fees. Pay only 1%. Guaranteed.
We say $4,800.
Stop money from flying out of your house. Call 1-800-232-LEND.
Reliance had a better deal.
Reliance Wholesale Mortgage. 1-800-232-LEND. Call now.
Kids love the taste of Mayfield milk. They don't know all the extra steps Mayfield takes to make our milk taste better. For example, this is the
That's right. Here, Mayfield Milk.
Mr. Mayfield!
Just a minute. Mayfield Milk is...
Mr. Mayfield, the fresh milk is superheated, vacuum processed, ensures consistent flavor. The result, delicious, great-tasting Mayfield milk. Mayfield milk!
I like this kid.
Mayfield makes great tasting milk. Our bright yellow jug just keeps it that way.
Cloudy conditions, light snow across the area this morning in the higher elevations. Temperatures in the 30s for the Tri-Cities region, in the low to mid-20s in some locations out there. Decreasing clouds this afternoon. We'll struggle to make it into the lower 40s, and then for this evening, partly cloudy, back down to about 33 degrees. Live conditions right now checking in with Kingsport Citizens Bank, 33. Humidity at 88%, winds are calm, the pressure at 30.10, and we have had some pretty good rainfall since midnight, but things have pushed off to the east right now, and we're getting some colder air coming in. Birchleaf right now at 29, Abingdon on the freezing mark, Rose Tester calling in with 36 degrees in Mountain City, also mid-30s for Carroll and Miller and Irwin. Ruth Green and Flag Pond right now 28. No activity as far as any snow or freezing rain right now. We've got Roby Hensley and Chuckey with 31, 32 for Churchill, also lower 30s for Greenville. Things basically looking dry on the radar, but we are getting some light snow that's not being picked up at this hour. But look at all the heavier rain that's pushing off rapidly through central parts of Virginia and the Carolinas. That's taking all the warm air with it as well as the moisture. 54 down for Charlotte, 42 for Raleigh, lower 60s for Charleston, South Carolina. But Knoxville down to the freezing mark, 20 for Lexington, and we've got 27 right now for Nashville. We are going to see decreasing clouds later today. Winds coming around out of the northwest on the backside of the system in the meantime. That's pulling in that colder air, and with a little bit of moisture that we do have left over, some folks around southwest Virginia in the higher elevations, also Beach Mountain, North Carolina, getting some light snow. So later on today, as we see this system continue to push up to the east, we should dry out and start to see some breaks in the clouds later today. But on the chilly side, tonight we'll be back down into the mid-20s for overnight lows. Here's the forecast for the rest of today. Morning light snow and flurries, especially for the higher elevations. Otherwise, a mixture of sun and clouds this afternoon with a high of 41 degrees and a northwest wind. Then for tonight, fair and cold, an overnight low of 25 degrees. And as we head into Saturday, much warmer, back up to 54 degrees with some sunshine. Now for the extended forecast, staying in the 50s for the rest of the period, 58 for Sunday. Scattered shower or two possible for Monday, but still holding in the mid-50s for Monday and Tuesday. So looking like a pretty good recovery as far as that springtime weather that we should really not be getting this time of year, but I'll take it, Christine. How about you?
No question, 58 degrees, amazing.
I know some folks who are happy that we're getting this winter weather this morning. Kids in Tazewell County, Virginia, you have a 2-hour delay, and also Dickinson County, Virginia, 2-hour delay for the school schedule there. So nice break toward the end of the week.
Nice little surprise amidst all this spring-like temperatures we've had.
I guess it breaks the monotony.
Exactly. And then we're back to sun. Perfect.
Perfect for the weekend.
All right. Day 2 of the impeachment leads our eye on the world. House prosecutors resume their presentation of evidence today at President Clinton's impeachment trial. They charge Mr. Clinton with repeatedly betraying his oath of office and trying to hide his affair with Monica Lewinsky. He says House prosecutors misrepresented the record in a way one official called blatant and outrageous. On a day that GOP leaders discuss the possibility of President Clinton testifying, the defendant kept his distance. Instead, the president staged a law and order event calling for more police on the streets. The world will be watching Brazil's fragile financial markets very closely today. Trading was temporarily halted at Latin America's largest stock market Thursday after the Sao Paulo index plummeted 10%. The drop came just a day after Brazil let its currency slide against the U.S. dollar. The time is now 6:42. Still more to come this morning, including our focus on the family commentary with Dr. James Dobson and our golf tip and golf giveaway with our pro Jerry Wilson. And straight ahead, this morning's Medical Watch.
I'm Dr. Dean Adele. Coming up, garlic and children and cholesterol levels.
I'm happy for you, Earl, but that Jesus stuff just isn't for me.
That's it. Call it. Time of death, 2:37 p.m.
Come to Jesus today. Tomorrow may be too late.
A message from Landmark Baptist Temple.
It's all here through Saturday at New York Carpet World. All you need to carpet your home is on sale. Save 5 to 50% off carpet, 50% off padding, 50% off labor. It's our best carpet offer of the season. Choose from hundreds of in-stock colors and styles, Berber, Saxony's, textures, and save 5 to 50% off carpet, 50% off Encore One padding, 50% off labor, plus 1 year free financing. It's all here through Saturday. All you need to carpet your home is on sale at New York Carpet World. Don't miss it.
There comes a point in your life when you outgrow those cute little pickups, at which time you might want to consider something a little more adult, a truck that can run rings around compacts. Dodge Dakota, with more room and more available towing, torque, and power. Magnum Power. Dakota, it's time to put away the toys. Now get a $1,000 cash allowance on a Dodge Dakota.
I have arthritis, and I need fast relief when my hands get to hurting. So when my arthritis acts up, I go for the green Arthritis Strength BC powder.
To get back on the go for the green. Arthritis pain can be tough. That's why I go for the green. Go for the green. Arthritis Strength BC powder. It's tough on arthritis pain. To get back on the go for the green.
In this morning's blood alert, the American Red Cross needs all types of blood, especially O positive, O negative, and B negative. The Johnson City Blood Center will be open on Saturday, that's tomorrow, from 9 until 2. In this morning's Medical Watch, many people proclaim the medical benefits of garlic. Unfortunately, they haven't all been proven true. Now Dr. Dina Dell reports on new research looking at whether garlic can really lower cholesterol in children.
Hard to believe that at this young age, most of these kids could already know what their cholesterol would be as an adult. That's because by this age, cholesterol levels are pretty much set, a combination of genetics and environment. So for kids with high cholesterol, doctors are faced with a dilemma, starting a lifetime of powerful drugs at a very early age or risking a potentially serious health problem. So it's only natural that the parents of children with cholesterol problems would turn to alternatives. And of course, there you got garlic. You know garlic's reputation, whether it's in pill form or the stinking rose itself. It's supposed to help with cholesterol problems, but frankly, the literature's been mixed. And that's why this story on children with cholesterol problems is so important. Part of the problem is nobody knows for sure which, if any, part of the garlic bowl might be the active ingredient that could affect our health. In this study, doctors gave an odor-free garlic extract or a placebo to 30 high cholesterol children. Unfortunately, the garlic extract therapy had no effect on blood fat and no effect on cholesterol levels. As disappointing as the study is, it's important to separate fact from fiction, even if it's one of our favorites. There's no doubt garlic is a wonderful food, adding aroma and taste to the plainest of dishes. And so far, we still haven't proven it's a medicine as well.
For News Channel 11 Morning Edition, I'm Dr. Dina Dell.
The time is now 6:46. Some of you may be in for a surprise this morning. There's a chance you'll be seeing some light snow, especially in the higher elevations. To find out exactly what we can expect, we head back over to the weather maps where Marcus is standing by. Marcus.
Well, we do have some light snow in some of the mountainous areas this morning. Temperatures in the 20s in some locations, otherwise mid to lower 30s for the lower elevations. Decreasing clouds this afternoon, highs struggling to make it to about 40 degrees, so much cooler than what we saw yesterday, and then partly cloudy for this evening, back down to about 33. We're at 33 right now at Kingsport Citizens Bank, humidity at 85%. Plenty of rain in the rain gauge since midnight. That is all pushed off well to the east at a pretty good clip, too. We'll take a look right now at the radar and show you what's going on. Front pushing through central Virginia, North Carolina, taking the warm air and the rain with it. We're getting winds coming in out of the northwest now, and that's translating into some light snow in the higher elevations where we still have a little bit of moisture left over. Really not showing up right now very well on the national radar, but a lot of folks are seeing at least some pretty good flurry activity out there. 17 now for Chicago, 9 degrees for Minneapolis, so plenty of cold air back out to our west. And we still got some warm air hanging on from Miami, but otherwise looking pretty cool across the southeast as this front pushes through early this morning. The good news is more heat building back in by the weekend. We should be back into the 50s for your Saturday forecast. We'll have more news and weather coming up after the break, but right now, here's a look at your lottery numbers for this morning.
the snow, but you've still got to go. So get going to the 4x4 sale at Bill Gatton Chevy Isuzu, the great big Chevy Isuzu place. While Bill has over 167 new and used 4x4s, you'll save on a massive selection of Chevy Blazers, Tahoes, and Suburbans. Exciting new Chevy Silverado 4x4 pickups are sale price too. So are Isuzu Troopers and Rodeos. Used 4x4s include Jeep Wranglers and Grand Cherokees, Nissan Pathfinders, and more. If you've got to go in spite of the snow, hurry to Bill Gatton Chevy Isuzu, the great big Chevy Isuzu place.
Here's a great reason to buy furniture now. Zach's Furniture's incredible repeat of their no cash attack is back. That's 2 full years, no down payment, no finance charges, no interest until 2001. It's the fiscally responsible way to shop. And if that's not enough, Zach's has new home fashions arriving just in time. Zach's has maintained its award-winning commitment to provide you with the very best financing offers and the very best prices. Now write this down. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Boones Creek and downtown Kingsport for free-spirited, no-hassle shopping.
There are an infinite number of stars in our universe. Make that infinity plus 1. Introducing the new Hardee's Star. It means we've got some delicious new chicken. Like Hardee's new Bacon Swiss Crispy Chicken. Our crunchiest, juiciest chicken breast sandwich ever. With Swiss bacon and a taste that comes through in the crunch. So now when you're hungry for chicken, shoot for the stars at the new Hardee's.
$20,000 for a new car? Get out! Hey, if your car runs good, looks bad, paint it. That's right, paint it and save at Maaco. Why? There's no better time. The Maaco Supreme sale is on. Maaco Supreme at half price. Now only $150. With our Maaco Supreme finish, you get our most popular service. Deep, durable, high-gloss finish, backed by Maaco centers coast to coast. And now, it's half price. $150. Painting your car with the Maaco Supreme paint service at half price? That's America's smart choice.
You are watching WJHL News Channel 11 Morning Edition.
Good morning. It is 10 minutes till 7. Right now in gray, cloudy skies and 34 degrees. A drastic change from yesterday, but hopefully we're going to see another drastic change for tomorrow.
That's right. The cold weather not hanging around long, but we do have some light snow and flurries in the higher elevations, and that has translated into a 2-hour school delay in Virginia for Tazewell County, Dickinson County schools. Some lucky kids up there to wrap up the week with a couple of hours or less of school to deal with. We'll be in the low 40s today, so kind of chilly compared to yesterday, but back into the 50s and dry for Saturday.
Looking like a beautiful weekend out there.
Weekend looks great.
Good time to get outside. In local headlines, 3 people in Johnson County are facing multiple charges of drug possession. The Johnson County Sheriff's Department and the 1st Judicial Drug Task Force arrested Barry Lee Oliver, Crystal Beth Howell, and Christine Sue Fritz yesterday afternoon. Officials say the trio are carrying 29.6 grams of a controlled substance and more than $5,000 in cash. Officials also say the investigation is continuing. Changes are coming to a local hospital. The Johnson City Medical Center is planning to convert Northside into an outpatient facility. Northside would handle procedures such as ultrasounds and MRIs, as well as provide some emergency care. The renovations and the equipment are expected to cost at least $8 million. The National Regulatory Commission is giving high marks to an Irwin plant. Nuclear Fuel Services scored higher than last year on this year's annual review, and the regional administrator was pleased with the score. One of the members of the NRC says while the company should be pleased with the results, there's always room for improvement. The facility produces uranium for the U.S. Navy. In this morning's Focus on the Family commentary, psychologist Dr. James Dobson talks about finding the balance between love and control.
I've often been asked which is more damaging to children, a parenting style that's very authoritarian and rigid, or one that's on the permissive and loose side. Actually, both these extremes leave their characteristic scars on children, and I think I'd be hard-pressed to say which is worse. At the oppressive end of the continuum, a child suffers the humiliation of total domination. You know, the atmosphere is icy and rigid, and he just lives in constant fear that he's going to do something wrong. He's unable to make his own decisions, and his personality is squelched beneath the parent's hobnail boot. Deep, abiding anger and serious adolescent rebellion often result from this domination. But the opposite extreme is also harmful to kids. In the absence of adult leadership, the child is her own master from her earliest babyhood. She thinks the world really does revolve around her heady empire, and she often has utter contempt and disrespect for those closest to her. Her mother is often the most frazzled and frustrated woman on her block. Now, it would be worth what she endures if her passivity produced respectful, secure children, but it typically does not. So the most healthy approach to child rearing is found in the safety of that middle ground between these disciplinary extremes. And to tip the scale in either direction is to do a disservice to our sons and daughters. With Focus on the Family, this is Dr. James Dobson.
It's time now to hit the golf course with our PGA pro, Jerry Wilson. Here he is with your tip of the week.
Well, this week we have a real treat. We have Darren Howard from the Ridges. And Darren, tell us how the Ridges are doing. I love playing out there.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to be here, Jerry. The Ridges is doing great right now. We've got a little end-of-the-year special going on that allows golfers to come out for $40 during the week and $45 on the weekends.
That includes a cart?
That includes a cart.
Wow.
Taxes, tag, the whole deal.
Wow.
So what you've got to do, though, is you can only call 24 hours in advance. So
right.
If you want to play on Saturday, you can't call on Wednesday. You can just call one day in advance, or you can win that.
I've got a little gift that Darren has given us to give away on the show, and that's a green tea and cart fee for two to the Ridges. And you call with this gift certificate, and we're going to give it away on today's show when we get back. But give us a little tip. Well, that's great. Thanks for doing this.
You're very welcome. We're glad to have everybody out right now during this little promotional period. But today I think what I'll talk about is putting, and people tend to have some problems with putting in that they don't get the club back on the right line. They get it inside or outside the line. That seems to be where everybody has a problem. So I've got a little technique that I use, and I use on a lot of my students. That is, I go to the hardware store. It costs about $2. You buy this chalk line here. And what you do is you put a tee at one end of the hole. You take it out to about 10 or 15 feet, and then you snap it, and it'll leave a blue or orange line there. Leaves a line down there. Okay. What you want to do is try to pick out an area that has the flattest surface. You don't want a breaking putt. You want the putt to be as straight as possible.
Our videographer, Doug, could not see the line when we snapped it, so we left this here so you could see the line, ladies and gentlemen, that he did. Now, I'll move this so Darren can putt and knock it in. There's the line.
Okay, and what you want to do on this is make sure that the line on your putter is staying straight back on the blue line that you snapped, and then concentrate on keeping it on that line on the way through. So it's just kind of back and through.
Wow.
And it breaks the opposite way.
Exactly.
That's what I thought.
I was giving a guy a lesson one day, and I said, you need to play the ball just slightly outside the hole. And he said, that's my problem. My ball's always slightly outside the hole. But with this practice, it shows them how the ball's rolling down the line, though.
That's exactly right. That's why we didn't really get a straight putt here, but that's why you want to make sure that you get a nice level putt so you can keep that blade
on that
back
one stroke. And speed is so important that way.
Speed is very important.
Darren, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Let's go back to the studio and see who won this week's gift.
This week's winner is Phyllis Wilson of Irwin. Phyllis, you won a green fee and cart fee for two from the Ridges Country Club, and a Pizza Plus pizza and a box of candy bars from Carl Gregory Dealerships. And you can win too. Just send us your name and phone number to Let's Play Golf in care of News Channel 11, P.O. Box 1130, Johnson City, Tennessee 37605. We'll be right back.
Go Balls! Buckland Bernard Auto Mall has the best selection of quality pre-owned vehicles in East Tennessee. Jack, pass on the savings.
Thanks, Stan. We've got truckloads of Nissan and Infiniti program cars, trucks, and vans, like this 98 Sentra for only $10,995 or $179 a month.
And don't forget, at Buckland Bernard will guarantee you $2,000 minimum for your trade-in towards the purchase of select quality pre-owned vehicles in stock. So win big. Pick up the phone, dial 1-888-639-4141, or come into Buckland Bernard Auto Mall in Greenville today.
It's time for the new year at GCO. GCO Carpet Outlet has the biggest flooring deals ever, and now is the time to save. Save on all carpet, remnants, and vinyl. Plus, with Color Tile Outlet in the same store, save on all ceramic tile, laminate, and hardwood. Everything's in stock and ready to go with no money down and no interest for 6 months. Come in today and get new flooring for the new year. Only at GCO Carpet Outlet and Color Tile Outlet. But you better hurry for best selection.
GCO Carpet Outlet in Johnson City and Bluntville.
The reception you'll get from your bank when you try to write a check without sufficient funds. The reception you'll get from National Cash Advance when you write a check without sufficient funds.
Would you like that in 10s or 20s?
National Cash Advance lets you write a personal check and get cash immediately. In the meantime, we'll hold your check until your next payday. So when you need emergency cash, don't bank on them. Bank on us. National Cash Advance. Cash at the speed of your life.
Count on News Channel 11.
Here's a look at some of the stories you can count on today on News Channel 11 at noon. There's a new option for women who are at high risk for breast cancer. It's called prophylactic mastectomy, the complete removal of healthy breast tissue to prevent the disease. We'll have a report on this controversial treatment. And are you in the mood for a carnival and just can't wait for spring? You may want to think about a trip to Steamboat Springs. Doesn't that look like fun? Woo! Oh, maybe painful. It's time for their annual Winter Carnival. We'll take a look at that in today's report. Oh my goodness.
There are a lot of things I can think of a shovel, uses for it, but transportation was not one of them.
Man, that looks pretty crazy out there. I'd prefer to just stick to the ski slopes.
Maybe that's a little bit of a safer option.
Well, we may be getting a little snow here. Not exactly enough for skiing, but if you head to western North Carolina, you can't.
That's right. Maybe enough to keep those skiers happy. Some flurries, light snow in the higher elevations. Temperatures in the 20s and low 30s this morning. So if you do live in the mountainous regions, be careful on those roads. Give yourself a little extra time. Only up into the low 40s today, so much cooler than yesterday. But we should be warming up again for the weekend. Temperatures will be back in the mid-50s and drying out. But in the meantime, some kids in Tazewell County and Dickinson County, Virginia, on a 2-hour delay this morning. So they kind of lucked out with the weather that we had coming through here today.
I'll say, they get off school and then we still get a great weekend. Works out great for everybody.
Why not?
Well, thanks for joining